recording to the cloud here, and we are going to be covering the Command database, Command CRM, the benefits, the fun stuff, what we should be looking out for, how we should be utilizing it to the best uh, of its capability. And so I'll be sharing my screen. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Feel free to jump off of mute or flag me down. Just yell out your questions. Alrighty. So I logged in automatically because I have my bookmark saved on my account and it's on contacts. So as soon as I log in, this is what I see when you log into console.command.kw.com. Most likely you'll arrive at a login screen. If you haven't already done a password reset, if you don't have your password, you need help with that, please send me a message or we can tag our friends at support Scott Leroy Marketing to send over a password reset. I'll put their email in the chat. And if you have any questions or want to tag your ASC when you are sending a message to them, that'll help ensure that things move forward. And if anything falls through the cracks, we'll see it. Not that it would, but if there isn't a response for some reason, things happen. People are taking vacations. And so keep us on the thread if you want to make sure that things get done as quick as possible. Okay. This is my email. Market Center Tech Trainer, but there is a ASC, which is the front person that you see in every office. They also have an email which ends in benkinney.com. So you might have received that from the moment you onboard. Let's talk a little bit more about that scenario. When you do onboard, you get your email access, you get your command access that leads you to this portal. This is where you have your contact database. This is where you can send emails. You can send specific email campaigns, which are called smart plans. This is also where you can manage your daily tasks. So we are looking at the home page. Here are the daily tasks that I have based on what is happening with my clients. I can also assign myself tasks too. It is so easy to use on the phone app. So while we're going through this, I want you to also pull up your app store on your phone and download the KW app. The KW app is going to be the red icon. The white icon is for the clients. The clients, and this is your hint here. Um, so the hint is it's this red KW on the very top. That indicates, okay, my app is always going to be the red version of the KW on the Apple Store, on the Google Play Store. All right. And if you log in, you'll be able to manage your tasks, your contacts. You could also call people directly from your phone because as you click their name, it pulls it up on the phone. And so there's so many easy ways to use this. And also, when we're talking about uploading contacts, calling people in our contacts, we probably want to start getting in the habit of importing our contacts when we do have a batch, when we know we've gone to the networking event, the open house, and we have all of these contacts and we want to import them, you also have a really easy way to import from your phone. Your phone will be able to import all the data and put it in the right places. We'll talk a little bit more about that after we do this really quick overview for the next 2 more minutes. So we've talked about home, overview of everything that's happening in our database. I want to check on this every day. And as I get more and more organized, this is where I go to check the health and status of all of my accounts. I want to spend at least 2 hours a day following up, talking to people, making new connections, and setting up the next tasks for when I want to follow up with that person again. So that every day I know what to do. So that every day I'm only spending that amount of time and not over stressing about have I done this and this and that. It's the beauty of really being aligned with having an organization in your task list. Excuse me. Um, Next, smart plans. We talked about that. Happens most often after the initial communication at the open house. Maybe it's after that first phone call, and you can set it up however you want for whatever goal you have. The best way to start is to have a goal. What do you want the smart plan to achieve? Okay, scenario. Open house, networking event, follow-up sequence that is automated, that includes emails, texts, and maybe even reminders for you to give them a call back or a personal text. Those will fall in your task bucket if those reminders are set up. So, automating your communications is what Smart Plans is. And there's a library that you can choose from with all of the different smart plans that the entire KW network shares as a whole. KW franchise, the entire KW franchise. So you can rip off and duplicate what somebody has done and created and is implemented successfully. Referrals is your link to that KW network that we were just talking about. Everybody in the KW franchise as a whole can connect and refer business to each other directly through your command platform. It's great to manage things here because as you log it, it gets synced on the back end, and you don't really have to manage that as much as you would if you didn't have track of everything. So this is where you keep track of your referrals and how to connect with other agents. If you meet them at family reunion, want to connect with them here for future deal purposes, um, add them, communicate with them first, and then send them a quick message on here too and grow my network. So that's kind of where you would start off. If you have any questions and want to dive deeper in that, we won't be doing much of that today because today's focus is really about growing your personal pipeline. And so that kind of leads us into the opportunities portion. When you have a deal or a lead that is now converted into the brokerage agreement stage, whatever that would be. It is really laid out here already. Cultivate, appointment booked, active, and then under contract and close. So to start this off, a contact needs to live in your database, and then you can create them into an opportunity, filling them in to specific boxes. So I know I have this contact right here. I have my name, so I have to search, or I can add a new contact directly from opportunities. The benefit of this is you get to see where everybody is at. Uh, there was an agent at our office who was highlighted for the agent spotlight for the sales rally, and he mentioned that his perspective of real estate is like just starting different fires here left and right, and they all kind of like fall into place, but it all really matters it all really is based on their timeline. And so if we start all of these different activities and just put them in its place and try to see how we can monitor them going through the pipeline, it makes things a lot easier for visibility. Whatever you track builds traction too. So this would be the best way to start building that pipeline and organizing your current leads. So moving on to the next step, we have the command dashboard with different tutorials, and that'll be under campaigns. It also teaches you a lot about how to create um, paid ads that would be essential if you would want to create a listing ad, connects directly to your Facebook if you do connect it in the settings portion. Now that we've talked about that, the reporting really just summarizes everything on the back end, including your market share as well, or your profit share. The designs portion is going to talk, or just going to lead you to a designs portal that has a bunch of different templates. Right now, we actually have a new, more preferred way of creating designs through our KW Canva Enterprise account. That we talked about a lot earlier this year, but I'll just give you a quick heads up and drop the link in the chat. I'm going to stay true to command today. Canva.kw.com. All right. So canva.kw.com is sort of a replacement for our old designs portal because it is really robust, super easy to use, and oftentimes you can import the design over into here, and it just allows more flexibility in the way you can create your templates. It has all the branding, it has all the logos. It's really, really awesome. And it connects to the NWMLS for quicker import of photos and descriptions for your listings. So that's kind of the reason why I prefer that more than the designs, but it's still here if you want to utilize it and explore it today. We could talk a little bit more about that. We're talking a lot about listings. We're talking a lot about creating designs, flyers, and all the different ways to create material. This is where you'll see the actual listing itself and the data if you sync to the NWMLS. So that step needs to be done in order to use the feature, similar to the smart plans. You need to activate it to utilize them. You need to activate the referral network in order to partner up with a referral partner in a different state. You need to connect with them. So a lot of these things kind of require that first initial step of connecting or activating. But we want to focus on the primary goal. Is it uploading contacts? Is it checking on your website? And that I think is the most asked for uh, task or most requested walkthrough is really looking over your website and making sure that everybody is in your system, is in your database, which I think is right. Website is already created for you, so I don't want you to stress so much about how to build a website because it's already made. The only things you need to really focus on when you arrive here for the first time is the two different settings places. No, now, so for the last 3 years that I've been, next 3.5 years, 3.5, almost 4, that I've been with Keller Williams, I've seen this change probably two, three times, and it's all for the sake of improving the system and making it easier for us to use. It does get a little frustrating when you go to find stuff and it's not there. So I know that these ones are definitely a guaranteed place to update your settings information for your website. So this is the back end, but all of this is tied to your website, the material that goes on all the different landing pages. Most of it is filled out for you because when you are logged into the brokerage, we take care of the back end registration setup. That fires up your command database that sets this all up for you. What can change is your website name. Your photo might not be there. Details, your bio. It's not gonna be personalized. It's gonna be pretty standard. Why choose me as your agent? It's still ready to go. It exists and it makes sense for a general bio sense, but it would be best to go in and really take the time to to work on it because a lot of the times people don't come here and check this as their first step. So even as it's live, people can still find you and all of the details still make sense. We also have a new way of communicating where we work and more about us here in the preferences. You can also display your neighborhoods on your site. You can also activate the app. It's always enabled from the beginning. So I guess if you want to disable it, you could. Keller Williams now has a loan program called Keller Home Loans that is a um, quick little banner that has details on what that looks like. So if you are not primarily working with Keller Home Loans, or if you want to utilize another service with a different mortgage company, you may not need to have that on your website. Go ahead and remove it. All of this is editable. All of this is yours to manage, but it is built in with those features. Keller covered, display Keller covered on my app and site. That one is a new one. That one I have to say is a new one. Your service, okay, keep editing. I am seeing the save button on the bottom and it's stopping me from moving to the next page, which makes complete sense. Make sure to save your preferences before moving on. Service areas is a new addition here, but it is really great for people who want to focus on uh, location and really establishing their clientele in a specific area or wanting to be known as the agent in X city. So if you want to put that, it will be displayed on your profile. It'll be displayed on your website, so you can claim your service area at this point, start drawing a map around it. Let's do it just for fun to add in the boundaries here. I live in Seattle, so I'm gonna add a boundary. Let's try this out. Select up to 3 areas.
Tracy, is there a limit to how many, like for the counties or even for the cities, of how many you can have when you do, if you're putting in the names, not doing the map search like you're doing?
It says up to 3 areas here.
Okay.
I think it might limit you.
Well, I've never looked at it, and now I'm like looking and I was like, oh, I don't really want to work in Kitsap. I'm like, I'm only like, I do work in Kitsap, but like, you know what I mean? It's not something that's like advertised.
Exactly. And that's the point of it. It's what is actually being advertised. But you can control it too. And if you haven't actually set it up, it might not be there. It might not be displayed on your profile yet because you've not
It
added
says
it.
it says it on the service areas like the automatic. It was United States, Washington, and then county. It had King, Snohomish, and Kitsap.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and so I clicked the X on Kitsap. I'm not looking at what you're doing. Like what you're, that's
Yeah.
not the map I'm looking at. It's the other one. But it's not letting me, and I clicked edit, but it's not even letting me. Um,
If you scroll to the top here, location is what I was able to search. And then it
but mine
highlights.
looks, yeah, that's I think because you're in map view.
Mm-hmm. What's it? Is this not the default?
No, mine came up as this. Hold on, let me. Wait. Um, okay, where am I? Why can't I find myself? This was my default.
Oh, it's a list.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so like over here, it was King, Snohomish, and then Kitsap. And I clicked the
I remember
X,
seeing that.
but it's not letting me click on like to add. But it had an edit button down here. So I clicked the edit button, clicked the X, and now it won't let me add another one.
Do a quick refresh. You might have to log back out and then log back in. I don't know why. And is it's in this specific editing portion?
And it's just a service area, like you just So
Right
if I go
there,
to
sir.
my details, so go to service area,
Hmm.
and then this is what comes up.
Interesting. So that is the older interface because I do see that I've seen it before. Uh, unless
Like, I honestly don't even know where all these addresses are. Or is that everything in Washington? That's a lot.
that's right, right. That's interesting to me because it is it
So if I click edit, then I maybe, so if I click map view, open map view, let's see what that does. It still has them on the corner over here.
doesn't look very familiar. We'll get together after this and figure out why.
Okay.
Yeah. Is
I mean,
everybody
I don't use it very often, so I don't know that it's like that big of a deal because I don't use command on that profile. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't really come up as it is kind of a new thing to have a display of what service areas you have or are servicing, what areas you are servicing.
Yeah, we can
But
work
that,
on that later.
yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it after.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for bringing it up. Is anybody else encountering that same situation? If everybody's following along exactly, feel free to drop in the chat if you're seeing that same thing so we can submit a report together if we have to. I want to be there with you guys if we need to make any changes on the back end because it does happen and I've seen some stuff where an account would not be as updated as another and there's no reason why. It's because when they roll out the different web, web features, some don't get updated as they all should, and it could be a bug on the back end. So, uh, want to scroll down past all of the different new additions because we don't really have um we don't really have much to cover in terms of the legal footer and compliance. As far as the compliance information that I know of, we just need to say that each office is independently owned and operated on every marketing material, but a website covers it because it is connected to your office or says that you are with and affiliated with your brokerage, which already covers the other advertisement policy that your brokerage needs to be uh, discoverable between this. It needs to be, you need to be able to find your brokerage within 2 clicks. That's what it is. And so, website covers it. That already defines the utmost message that you need to have there about compliance. So, I'm not going to go into that right now. Social platforms, you can add your links here. It would be best to display them if you are utilizing social media for marketing, especially for your listings and are advertising that as a part of promotion that you will do for your service. And that'll give them direct access to your profiles if you add them on your website. So definitely advise on doing that. Referral links. Now, this is a specific app that is tied to your KW website. Your KW website is where people can search for homes. It acts as a connection to the NWMLS. Treat it like a Zillow. If I were to send my clients a home, a property, I'd probably send them something that they can get access to my information or book directly with me, and that would be through the KW website. In the very beginning, um, I, with utilizing this app link, I would probably put it on my signature anywhere accessible, add it in the first email I send out in my drip campaigns because once people use this link and they do arrive at a web page that they start looking for homes, they start looking for luxury properties, land, commercial, whatever it is, they start looking for properties. This is more where you want to send them is to the search bar. This search page that's already connected to your website. You need to start here in order to get to a landing page that'll connect them to you after they sign up. And I hope that makes sense because um, this is an important way to keep track of where your client is at in the buying process or home search process, more like. Once they are searching for a home, they are forced to register. They do register. Anything that they end up liking will be seen as a notification on your back end. It will be on your command database telling you, hey, somebody has uh, found a home and has liked this property and has saved this property. So that's why that is specifically important to have and to share. Forced registration. This is where you have control of the viewership and the limitations of each viewer on the app and on the website. If they're looking at properties and they start, and you can control this here, they say, let's say, two properties is the option I'm choosing. When Giselle goes and looks at properties on the website, after she hits two properties, she won't be able to see anything else unless she registers. And this kind of forces that registration. That's what that entails. And then my subdomain will be the last thing um, to really change on this portion of the settings. If you want to change your address or your web address to something more aligned with your brand name, you can do that here. The only thing you can't change is the sub or is the regular domain kw.com. That remains the same for all websites, but you can change the subdomain. Alrighty, moving on. Does anybody have any questions? Feel free to drop them in the chat. I missed how you selected the ability to draw on your map. Lori, I'm going to go back for you here really quickly. Service area. Ooh, claim your service area. I'm going to click on something else because I think I found why that happened. Um, Lou, this is the place you were.
Yeah, but it didn't even give me that option when I clicked on it. Let me go back. So if I
Okay,
go to service area,
yep. And claim your service areas
it
instead.
doesn't have that option, that button that you initially had in the beginning. It didn't even come up.
Okay, good. All right. At least we have a good argument for the bug that may be happening on your account. And then if you do see this map and you, like Lori, are wondering how to start drawing on the map, is that what it was, right? Drawing on the map. Yeah, draw on the map. It would be this button right here next to the search bar.
Okay, I didn't see that when I was looking at it, so I'm not
Sweet.
sure where mine went.
It's gone now.
I'll go back and look again.
Okay, sounds good. Then boom, we've circled Seattle and hit submit, and it kind of pre-populates those different cities, which was took me 2 seconds. So I hope that works out. If we
Thank
do
you.
log back out, you're welcome. Log back out and log back in. Let's go back to the website settings. So I did a quick refresh, went back into websites, just clicked this button here, and then it brought me back to the main page where we were um, just last when we edited our preferences. So the website page itself, you can see it right here in this launch website button to get a preview. But as you're managing your website, editing the pages, the text, every detail on what is being seen, it'll give you a quick display. But let's look at the website first. So your website, I actually changed mine to green yesterday. So there's that. It's got a green banner. it's got some green elements to it, like the search button is now green. I have the home page, some blogs, open house sign up. I have that there, but I should change that because I know this is a form that I can change. The website, the address for the office, my contact information, and then scan my app, download my app. We definitely want to have that there. We want to tell people to go and check it out. So in case you're on your website and people are like, how can I download your app? How can I find your app? Then you can lead them to your website and that QR code right below. The search bar is where people can search for homes, where they can find properties and that'll actually give them the option to book a time with you. So it's already set up. It is similar to the interface of Zillow, uh, anything that you would use or utilize really to send to your clients. Acts a similar way. So I have that barrier here. So that's why I'm going to get that notification for people who are looking at my website. And that's kind of what they will see based on the restrictions that you created. The two property restrictions that I selected for my website is the reason why I cannot view without logging in. So you'll see that too. If I try to select, you want to unlock more features, you got to sign up. So that's the message that they'll receive. Going back to the website settings, now that we see that, now that we know what the home page looks like, here are the different settings. You can start off by changing the design. The layout would be the easiest. And if you want to take a break here, this takes care of a lot of just the aesthetics only. And going back into the page does require kind of looking deep into things. So if we want to choose two out of these two different layouts, modern and classic, choose whichever feels like aligns best with you, kind of like the modern today. So we'll change that. And then we have a few different color swatches. There's about 11 of these. There's a green one that primary color is white. There's a green one that a primary color is black, which means majority of the page will be black. So if I hit publish, that ensures that this is actually live. So make sure with every change you make with your website that you publish it. And so that actually changed everything right now. So as you can see, the primary layout of my website is black. The first layout or the color palette will kind of guide you and will show you what the primary color is, and that's the first color swatch. So that kind of gives you a hint of how the layout will look. That definitely does help me. There's a font here I don't really like and actually can change that now. So let's go ahead and do that. If I scroll down a little bit more, I'll see some different fonts. I really like the serif fonts, more on the sharper edge. I like the rounded icon, so I'm going to choose that. And then with every change, again, hit publish. So after I choose the settings that I want, I hit publish and I want to go back into my website just to make sure that everything was changed accordingly. It doesn't look like the fonts were changed, but I'll give it a moment. And I want to go back into, maybe I had to hit publish. Thought I did, but it's okay. Now we want to go back into the website settings again. Actually exited out on accident. But there you go. It shows a preview. The font was changed. The font here was changed. I'm going to hit refresh. It's still not showing on the live version. I hope that it would, but it's seemingly updating on the back end already. So I will give it. Oh, okay, there it is. That is a serif font. This definitely does look different now. Okay. Going back to the web pages, this will require a more in-depth tutorial to go through exactly what to edit, but I'll give you guys a step into the editing process so you can go and explore. And there's also a recording about website building that we did. I'm not so sure if it was 2 or 3 months ago. And it's also located on the BKCO Hub under training and under Tech Thursday. But if I can just explain this part for you, I think it could give you a big understanding of where to take action. So, quick start will give you those quick action items. So, this is this first bar right here. We have blogs, we have create a custom page, we have create a download the app landing page, we have property landing page template, mortgage calculator. Then down below are all of the active pages. So if you want to directly attack just the home page to make any changes, it'll be under custom home pages as homepage. And once you click on it, I know what to do because I know I just wanted to change that form that said open houses because that's not what I want people to see as they arrive at my page. I want them to just see a contact form. So I'm gonna go down and find where that is. This on the right hand side is a direct reflection of my website and what is active, and the changes we make on the left side should preview on the right hand side too. So scrolling down, I should start to see different pictures. There's the hero image banner. This is what this is. It's scrolling through all of these photos. So you could replace them with photos that you have of properties you've listed. So if there are images that you want to upload, do them right here. This is the control settings for it. If I scroll down one more, that's actually still correlating to the search or the hero banner, which is what the big first photo or video is on any web page. Content, property search. This is the button right here. Property search. Custom button. If I don't want the rent for rent option, which is right next to buy, if I don't want to advertise that I am going to be someone who can help them with renting, I'm going to toggle that off. Scrolling down one more. These drop-down menus will hide a lot of things too. So if you want to open that up, listing list, featured properties, this is where if you want to add your current property that you have live listed, you can add that property here. Testimonials, list featured properties also. I didn't have that. I didn't have anything for that, so there's nothing there. Blog. Blog is not there. Blog is not there. Display or hide module. So it's hidden. There was a blog I did see, but that might have been a different landing page I'm confusing it for, but for the homepage, but default agent contact title. That's me. That's what that is. Market center contact. Market center contact information. Okay. So that's kind of how you want to look at your landing page, and it goes page by page. Editing the display. We want to attack that form. Where is that form? Listing module form. I'm going
Blog is that number
to
4 just above.
blog, it's the form.
Oh,
The form that's at open house. Because I think I did it during a tutorial and like changed it and then never changed it back. But I'm not worried about it because I'm sure nobody's going there to look for homes because I'm not a realtor. So I'm the trainer, not the realtor. So yeah, yes, I like hearing what works best and finding the scenarios that fit it. I'm the technical person that comes in to just fix things. I do have a good understanding because I was in mortgage before real estate. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, try the loan officer mortgage exam too, just to understand how to communicate because that's where my passion is being able to relay the information correctly and being able to communicate. So, this is the basis of editing your website. After editing this, it's live, it lives, it exists, people can work on it. I want to talk a little bit more about what happens for the clients as they arrive at your page and what they can take advantage of and what you can take advantage of as they have that access. So I'm going back into command and I'm going to let you guys know that this is a step that I have to do most often when I'm in the editing space of the websites. There's no back button. And if I do hit the back button, I arrive back here, sometimes I don't, and I may have to go back and just quickly search up command and then get back right into my actual command database dashboard. All right, now going back to the action items and what happens with the website when the clients are looking at your website, they are scrolling, they are searching. This is where their saved searches go. Every contact kind of gives you, the contact card gives you an idea to the buyer's search habits, communication, any activities happening back and forth, if there's any emails being sent out, were those emails opened? I have another email that I can show you actually that it didn't get delivered because it isn't a good email. It'll flag it and say, "Hey, this is not a valid email." Probably a good time to check back in with the client and see if you can get the right one. But if there is a valid email, you will see that it was delivered. You will see that it was opened. We talked about open rates the other day, Lou and I. You can see where this is, where they've opened. But in the smart plans, you can see how many people are receiving the actual email and if those were delivered. If you're activating a smart plan, you can see the entire open rate for that. You should be able to see that instead. Okay, uploading contacts, we've talked about that. We've talked about where the searches go as it coincides with the buyer experience with your website. You can from this point in the contact section in your app be able to communicate with them because there's a phone. There isn't one here because I didn't add a phone number, but if you do, I will say that's the office number. Okay, it'll appear. So from your phone, if you go into your app, I'm going to follow along with my app and just try to read out what I'm doing. But with the KW app, I'm in, sign in. The icons or the navigation bar is going to be at the bottom. And then you should be able to pull up a contact card and click on their phone number and be able to call from there. And that's the way you can definitely ensure that action step was logged. Um, it shows up here. Or if you want to add an activity, let's say you text them, that doesn't get logged, but you can add that activity for the sake of keeping track of how many times you've communicated with that client. Um,
This would be a good way to save all your text messages too, right? I mean,
yeah, it would, it definitely it would. If you wanted to write notes, add an activity, there's a small plus button similar to this on the phone app that gives you an easy way to add a note on the person, create an event. You want to call them back, or you have a schedule at the time to meet with them. You can add that calendar event here, add notes. They said they're going to be gone for 2 months in the middle of the year. Add a note for yourself, add a task for you to call back. And this is where you can really take advantage of utilizing the CRM to the most of its capability. As I mentioned in the beginning, being able to schedule out your tasks and when you're going to be following up with them again so that you're reminded when that time comes and you're not storing it in your head. So I would go call back. How how was vacation? That's the purpose of my call. It's linked to the contact card. I can add more contacts to, let's say, I want to also check on his wife and just chat and see how everything was going. How was Cabo? Um, Task to call back, whatever it is, description, whatever I want to add there, priority level. Hi, I think they will be buying in the next 3 months, right after they come back, is what they said. So I want to keep that on the top of my priorities, and it will go at the top in front of any other existing tasks that may be due on that day. Create the task. That task will appear when you're doing your follow-ups, when you're doing your cold calling, every time after you hang up. Write that task. When am I going to follow up again? When am I going to call them again? What should I do next? If I text them, is that going to be better? They didn't pick up. I sent them a message. I'm going to write the note. I did all of that. So when I follow up again, I have something to say. Hey, I called you back and I didn't really hear back from you. I'm just wondering if everything's okay. If I were to go back and try to call them 5 months and I didn't write those notes, I wouldn't have much to say. And so that I keep as a priority when doing follow-ups. So since I set up that task and it was priority, it should be at the top of my tab, my taskbar. And if it's not, definitely re refresh so you can see all of the different tasks now. I just hit the filter, call back, how was vacation, linked to specific contact, assigned to me, high priority. I'm done with that. Click that box, it disappears. Click on the box, click on the circle here, it disappears. So you might see these tasks in your pipeline when you log in for the first time because it is that first access point, and it's more of a tutorial in a sense. Build your sales pipeline. Opportunities is a system that you can track your current and potential transactions, exactly what we were just talking about earlier. Each opportunity starts with the cultivation phase and it talks about everything. It may be a little tutorial, maybe. So explore that if you haven't. If you want to click all the way through them, that it's all up to you, but it really gives you more understanding, more in-depth understanding of the database itself. All right, last but not the least, how to get the most out of your database, how to be able to segment is really by utilizing the tagging features here. So I've segmented friends, family, and agents and leads. And this is because I want to categorize the different communications that go out. I have a lot of friends that may not be interested necessarily in real estate, but they are business owners. They want to get messages about the market and they are interested about um, the new events happening in the area. And that's on my newsletter. So I want to make sure that friends and family gets my newsletter too. Tag people in your database, whatever your tagging mechanism is, whatever that it is, it's buying in 3 months, buying in 6 months, buying in a year, maybe warm, hot, cold. Utilize the tagging system because it could also be a shortcut into setting up the smart plans. So, to create new tags, pick any contact, pick on any contact, hit the edit button, and now you've arrived in a place where you're able to create tags. There are existing ones, but you want to start off by tagging your first contact. So, warm 3 to 6 months. Create as new. Select a color, yellow. Create a tag. The tag is created. Do I want to leave it on Elder's contact? Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just used him to create the tag and I want to delete it. That's great. But it's most often that when we're creating a tag, it starts with a contact. It starts with that purpose. Who is that person? They family, friend. Then I want to go back and tag everybody else. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody is. And if you didn't see that happen, it went really quick, but there's an invisible editing tool that pops up when I select the contacts. It shows me shortcuts to adding tags, adding smart plans, adding notes, sending emails, and other options here too. If you wanted to export your contacts,
Where does that show up, that invisible, when you select all?
when you select any or all.
Oh, okay. So it says clear selection, add tag, add smart, add notes, and email. Okay.
Even archive, if you wanted to delete that contact because it was a duplicate contact.
Okay.
Archive is right there. Archive is delete. You can also go here and send one specific person an email. You can send everybody an email all at once. So you can send 2 people, send an email. When they do get that email and they do respond, it is set up in the back end that your primary email is the email that they will respond to. So if that is something you check out and you're testing by sending yourself an email and it doesn't work, then let us know. We can help guide you through that step of editing that email, that reply email. So the invisible buttons that appear include adding tags. You can mass assign tags. Here are the tags we just created. One that says warm. Boom, it's done. Added. Tag warm 3 to 6 months to all contacts. Select, mass select, or only select one. More options will give you send a text message to. If you have access to Twilio, you can utilize the send text message. It requires buying credits. So Twilio is like your credits store. You go and you buy a service phone number with credits. The credits are about 10 to 30 cents. No, it's probably 3 to 10 cents per message, depending on the length of the message. The characters per send, it's about 130 characters, which it counts spaces and actual letters. So 130 characters is equivalent to one, like maybe 3 cents or up to 3 cents. If you go more than that, um, it will it may alter the text message, send it as two batches, or it may, you know, utilize more credits for that long message. So keep that in mind. The minimum you can purchase for your credits is $10. That'll get you about 500 credits or more. So it's pretty easy. There is that idea that they do have another number, which is true. And so just keep that in mind if it's something that you want to implement, or if you want to just utilize your app and text them directly from your phone. That will be much easier and more efficient because you already have that one phone number. So the app is really key. And if you guys have any more questions, I really want to go deeper into smart plans. We do have some classes this month that are really about defining the basics, even the basics of video filming. So I'll walk you through a lot of that towards the end of the month. If you have any questions or suggestions for class, please shoot me an email. You have it in the chat. Let me know if we can cover any topics for you or meet with you separately so we can discuss all of your goals together. Thank you so much, you guys. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank
I do
you.
have, I have
Yeah, you're on mute.
sorry. There. So with the Trulio, with the texting, if you were going to do a smart plan, are you suggesting that it might not be that efficient to do a smart plan with text messages in command?
To do it short messages.
So if I were going to do a short message, just make sure it's like 150 characters. And what did you say? There, you said a couple things with that, with the criteria.
150 characters would equal like 1 credit, which is 33, which is 3 cents. 1 credit is 3 cents. I
So you
think.
really like have to map it out with how many people you have in your system and how many text messages you're going to send out. Like you really got to budget that out.
Oh yeah, based on how many contacts you're gonna send it to, because then it
Yeah.
multiplies. Because like one
Yeah.
man can have 2 text messages, but if it's sent out to 500 people, that's
Right.
times 500. That's
Mhm.
1,000. But then with a budget of with a budget of $10, and you have 500 credits, that's communicating with.
I think it's just going to depend on what needs to happen.
And then the
It's going to
cadence
be a
of it,
case by case.
it doesn't expire, it just kind of rolls over. It long before, like maybe 5 years ago, they expired after 3 months. So
Oh,
check.
okay.
Yeah, check. Just double check. Maybe they're nicer now.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then in terms of like I noticed, shame on me, I should have looked at this before. With like under my own name, they've given me like a 30-day tasks.
Mhm.
So going through all of that's probably going to get through a lot of stuff I already know. But that's a good kind of a fail proof to make sure I know what I need to know, right?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah. The tasks and the descriptions with it that are
For letter assigned to my name.
assigned to your name. Every command. Yeah, I'll have that too. You could
Yeah.
probably tell people to see that too, even if you're working with them, and ask them to
They
go
should be
through.
able to see it on there, and but I'm gonna go
Mhm.
through and make sure because I'm looking down at it and I was like, I know a lot of it, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
check it all off to make sure I'm not missing anything.
I like that. I love that.
Okay. What are
Good.
you going covering next week?
Next week is, let's see, I forgot. This is
What are
the
you doing?
month of this is the month of catching up for me, I think. A lot of people are kind of coming back to re-establish their goals from the beginning of the year. I'm just following what would potentially be helpful for people. But I'm gonna check. Hold on one second. All right. Canva open house flyers
In
Isn't
Canva or in Command?
in Canva.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that down yet. That drives me nuts. Like it's hit and miss with
Yeah.
figuring it out, is how I feel.
Wait, why? I thought
Yeah, I
you
got it when you and I did it like last, I want to say it's like whenever you did it last. But I just felt like I was getting overwhelmed because the transfer portion, and I still hit that whole using like shifting it between my account and the KW account, and then getting all the
Mhm.
information I want on there. So it's having the right template that gives all the information I want, right? So I need the
Mhm.
time, location, description, essentially with the picture and my brand colors tied into KW stuff.
Did you successfully port in all of your content from the original profile to your new KW profile?
So my personal pro versus
Mm-hmm.
no.
No.
No, I
Okay,
don't
you have to
actually
do.
I honestly don't even remember that being what I had to do. Because
Oh,
it was this weird like shifting from what you like if you did it I can't I could be butchering this, but I remember you saying that we had to choose the KW one, right? You
correct.
import the details and then it's supposed to save whatever you have, and when you hover and go back to your personal one, I should
Yes.
be able to shift the brand and do the brand rotation with the colors and whatever. What was
Yes.
happening is I was getting a message like like the template isn't shareable, or like I didn't have access to the template, or it was something weird like that that I kept getting.
Mm.
We can talk about it next week. We don't need to dig. I'm not ready to like dig into it right now.
No, so yeah, let's do it next week. But now I know I'll talk about that at the very beginning because what could also be a thing with transferring over is having the color swatch on hand. And I don't know if you remember, but applying um we'll go into that next week. I think I know better what to kind of cover, but all of the tools is what I'm going to cover on the left-hand side, how to drag and drop, where the brand colors is, given it already has a little bit of an update in as of yesterday.
See,
uh,
the colors I'm looking at it right now, they're the KW colors. So I don't have mine in here in the KW account.
you'll have to toggle over, but what if you had a picture of it in your uploads that you put on and then you just change all the colors?
What do you mean? The picture of what?
I have a
So you're
feeling.
saying like if I have the grayscale KW one.
So brand, right? Open up this brand or this template.
And this is in the KW account, right?
This is, yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm doing.
Here in all brands, we have all of our core
Right.
templates, logos, fonts and all.
Mm-hmm.
Then my idea, quick shortcut, because you only have to do this once, right? I'm gonna upload something. Oh, here's a color swatch here, right here. Right there. That's what I have, my color palette. It already adopts it. If you can see right here.
Oh, I just see the top, yeah. So how do
Mm-hmm.
you get the color swatch? I know that's a saved picture, but is that what is
The
that?
color swatch, I Googled it and it was the one that my client wanted to use, and then we just kind of adapted it to all of her brands. But here's what the magic button is. So I'm highlighting this.
Right.
More,
Okay.
apply colors to page.
Okay.
You should do that. You should.
I'll
the
mess
file.
with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want to like it'll take me a couple minutes to figure because
I
I know the colors. I know like where I got my colors from.
mm-hmm.
I should be able to Google it if that's what.
And because I know what this is, it's doing, it's only changing the bottom. So as
Right, I
I
see that because of the
there's only one color. There's only
right.
other color. So that would be the easiest way to kind of adapt things over. Or if you wanted to download your graphics, it only applies to graphics as a PDF and upload them here. Download all of them and upload them into Canva. There's also another way. There's so many ways to do it. If you're doing one, just download it as a PDF and create a new project, upload it there. It adapts all the characteristics of it and it becomes editable.
Oh, it's muted again. So I should be able to like upload my logo, my picture, and the colors, and then it should be like should identify that stuff in the
It should I
KW one.
Yeah, it should identify that you can edit it at least. Like all of the things you
Okay.
upload, if it's a PDF, will be editable.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All
Oh,
right. Well, I'll play with it because I've got like 4 open houses this weekend. So it'd be awesome to do it. That's why I'm like really not consistent in actually posting the open house situation. I've